私は魔女教滞在司教怠惰担当ベテルギウス・ロマネ・コンティです。
What's up, friends? It's Full Firecore Death, and as you guys can see, I'm going to be doing a tier list. And the previous thing you saw, which was Petelgeuse, and he's from ReZero, so we're going to be doing a ReZero tier list today. Now, this involves the main characters, or at least the important characters. If there's any missing, that it's not my fault. I took this off the web. I just yoinked it, and if I don't know some of the characters' names, please don't hate me, because I want to just make this video and not do any like crazy research. Or, well, I think remembering the name has nothing to do with the research, but I'm just going to do this off the basis of my knowledge. Now, I have watched ReZero 2 times, and the second time was definitely better. Not only I was older and I was able to understand the things more, but the simple details were very cool the second watch through. So yes, we're going to do this. Of course, like always, I'm going to reshuffle them because I do not like doing the optimal way. And I don't want to start off with the important characters, since this thing seems to be ordered somewhat importantly if you don't order it yourself. So we have the classic tiers, but this particular one has an E tier and an F tier. So we definitely want to make all of these characters, we want to talk about them a lot. There aren't that many, so let's be sure we give some good talks on each character. And what a beautiful character to start off with. Just like the start of the video, this is Petelgeuse, Roman Carcertine. I'm not going to try to pronounce his entire name, but okay. So before I continue, this has major spoilers. So if you don't want to know anything about the show, I have not read the light novel, so I know nothing about that. So this is just the anime. If you watch the anime, then you're going to know as much as me. If not, then you're probably going to want to find one of my other videos, like my Crash Fever series that I made quite a while ago, but it's still a good series. But yeah, I'll try to keep this somewhat spoiler-free. Can't promise anything, though. Let's start off with Petelgeuse, or Betelgeuse. It has a P, it's like a silent P or something. I'm just going to call him Petelgeuse. Petelgeuse. So, this dude, he has the bowl haircut. I honestly think he is a very interesting type of evil character. You probably could already tell he's evil, since he has the creepy smile. But this dude is kind of like the main antagonist throughout Season 1, besides like the witch, because she's like the overarching bad character deity. And Petelgeuse, at the end of the first season, does meet his untimely end by getting ground up inside of a wheel, but he was a good character through and through. He was a pretty scary character. When I was younger watching this show, I was a lot more freaked out, but now I can slightly understand the humor. I don't know if I'm just messed up, but inside of a few of the scenes that are supposed to be extremely emotional, Petelgeuse kind of just made it, I'm not going to say laughable, but he made the intensity of the moment a lot more trippy and kind of freaky, that this weird bowl haircut dude with green hair is laughing after murdering someone brutally. But it brings a whole new thing to a bad guy, and I thought he was a cool character. So this is a top tier character. We're going to put him inside of A tier at the moment, but, you know, we might bring him up. This is up to debate. All right, then we have Puck, the, well, another deity. This is a, well, just a spirit. Very cool character. Now, I'm not going to say anything about the form, since I know nothing about that. But Puck turns into some weird giant werewolf dog thing that is kind of like a catalyst bomb. If Emilia dies, this cute creature turns into a demon and then destroys the entire universe, which is probably touched on inside of the movie, but I haven't watched that yet, so you don't have to worry about spoilers on that. But Puck is an awesome character, very cute, and has quite a bit of interesting things about it. When I first watched the series, I was very confused on what that giant creature was, but like watching it the second time, it kind of makes sense. And we only learn that it's Puck a few episodes later, so it's not like a big reveal or anything. But Puck's an epic character, and I like the character a lot, so I'll put it at a low B tier. All right, moving on, we have Reinhardt. A few of these characters I don't know the name of, so I'll just try to talk about what they do. I don't know. But we have Reinhardt here. Reinhardt is the White Knight, the Savage. Now, this dude pretty much is just like the strongest art user. He just, like, he's a spiritual art. No, that's the other dude, Julius. But this dude, he's a very strong user of like Excalibur or something, a really strong sword that only can be drawn if it actually like needs to be used. And I'm pretty sure inside like the sword's lifetime or something, it's only been drawn like a couple times. So it has to be like a crazy battle. And I have a feeling inside the later seasons or something, he's gonna have to like use it against like some crazy enemy, maybe like the witch or demon Puck or something. But Reinhardt's a sick character, and he puts some good white knightness, but I didn't really find him too. I wasn't like looking forward to seeing him. So I'll put him inside of a D tier. Not because he's a bad character, just because I don't think they touched on his personality enough inside of season 1. He'll probably be a more important character later. Unless he dies, since, you know, it's ReZero, so they could do that. Alright, next we have Crusch, or Crusch, or Kudush. Now, I have a big connection to Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and the first thing I thought of while seeing this lady inside of somewhat masculine attire, running like an army, I immediately thought Morag from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Kind of just gives me the whole feeling. It sounds like her if you play the Japanese version of Xenoblade Chronicles 2. She is just so similar, and I like her a lot. She's a cool character, and she was very epic inside the white whale hunting scene. So I like her a lot, and I'll put her at a higher B tier than Puck, since she's sick. A very cool character. One of the best girls inside the series. I'm not going to state which girl I think is best. I'm just going to rate this off of the characters that I like. Just because I like the character doesn't necessarily mean I think they are top waifu. Because there are a few characters in here that might be waifu, hardcore waifu, but they're not personal characters that I like. I can accept a waifu, but I can't accept a character as like a cool character. Since I want to keep this inside of like actual story instead of just how, you know, cute the character is. But Rem has both of them. You can't ignore the cuteness. She's the maid, and then she murdered him, and then he gained her trust, and then she was cute. Throughout the entire series, she was kind of there, and I'm pretty sure inside the director's cut, I'm not going to spoil it, but something happens with Rem, which is interesting. Maybe you should watch the director's cut. I'm pretty sure there's like a video on YouTube or something. But Rem is a top tier character. I can't put her any lower than a S tier. She is a top tier bae. She is high tier. If she was in Smash Bros, she would be up there with Pikachu, Palutena, Peach, and Joker. Alright, now we have another character, which, okay, now personally, I am more of a Rem fan with the, you know, whole waifu war. But I'm not saying that Emilia is not, like, I think Emilia is a good waifu, too. I can understand, like, people who like Emilia. I just think people who like Rem are kind of butthurt because, our main protagonist, Subaru-kun, the savage himself, decided he was going to shut down the, preferred character for, this lady. Like I said, I haven't watched the movie, and I know she's focused on inside the movie, so maybe I'll like her more, if so. But as of now, she was kind of just a burden throughout most of season 1. She didn't really do much. She kind of just ran for president, got shut down because she was like different race and people didn't like that. She almost died and almost, well, did trigger the catalyst, which is Puck a couple times. A lot of things happened, and she was kind of the result of it. She didn't really do much. When Rem did all these things to protect Subaru, Emilia kind of just sat around and helped him from some thugs, I suppose. But if we're just going by the character, I think it's an interesting character. The whole shunned from society. Everyone thinks she's a piece of trash, but she's actually kind of cute and all that. Elf girls are nice. She looks cool, and she's the only character in here that has a GIF, I think. So I think the person that made this likes Emilia. But Emilia, I'm sorry, Emilia, you're a good character, but I'm going to have to put you below Petelgeuse, not Betelgeuse. You're just, you're not as good as the the Archbishop of Sloth. At least that's what I think his title is. It's so fucking long. Like something else. Okay, then we have this lady, which I'm pretty sure name's Elsa. Okay, so I really liked her inside of Frozen. She was, like, pretty cool. Definitely not my favorite Disney princess. I'm just kidding. She does have the same name as the Snow Queen with the annoying song herself, but she's very different. Unlike Snow Queen, she is gonna cut open your gut and, well, look at your guts. If you have read the manga, that I have not, I've just seen a couple reviews of it. It's a lot more graphic, so if you want to see Subaru's guts hanging out and Elsa over here just kind of like sucking on him and poking at him, you could read that, I suppose. But she's a cool character. They only had her inside the beginning to be like a show off, just like, oh look, Subaru's dying a bunch by this demon lady. This world is so hardy and, well, not hardy, just destructive and dangerous for our heroine. No, not our heroine, our hero, Subaru-kun. But Bowel Hunter, unfortunately, was not touched on enough. And she kind of just stayed inside the back, got beat up by Reinhardt, and then said, I'll be back. But she never came back. She just, bounced and told everyone to take care of their guts because she wanted to cut them open. So I'm going to put her inside of an E tier. She's hot, but not enough for me to put her inside of a high tier. And Reinhardt's better since he's a ginger. You got to give gingers the love. Now, we're going to go on to Subaru. Okay, now, this is not a power scale, because if we were going to judge all the powers inside this show, Subaru would definitely be number one. Now, Subaru, he's inside of, the best position right here. I know the return to death thing is considered a curse to at least him, but it is a broken ability. All these wars can happen. He was only able to, take out some of the creatures and the demons and the people due to knowing what they do already, because he got massacred by them. So it's a very strong ability, because you could, I don't know that someone's going to punch you with their right arm and do some weird ninja flips and stuff, like he did with Bowel Hunter down here. Oh, man. But Subaru's a cool character. I know some people don't like him, partly because he shut down best girl to most people, and he was kind of just a simp to second best girl, or maybe even worst girl to some people. But I think Subaru's a good character. I definitely won't want to be around him as a person because he's a little too real for me. Inside these isekai shows, I think it's, kind of obvious that most of the time they're just going to be these overpowered dudes with a harem and have this crazy catalyst move oh, I have the ability to make all the women around me have insane lustful attacks and want to have intercourse with me, along with having their chests grow bigger, and also it destroys every single bad guy inside the universe. Unlike Subaru, who just dies and comes back. So I think Subaru is a lot more real. I think people would be a lot crazier and, freaked out inside that situation. But, yeah, the author of the web novel, the light novel, did a very good job with giving Subaru an understandable personality. Even though he, in my opinion, should have picked the blue hair lady instead of the white hair lady, which didn't do much, but she's still a good waifu. Okay, but Subaru's a good character. Definitely not as good as Petelgeuse, since he's a top tier. And Emilia, they can go together since, he's a simp. He always needs to be next to her at all times. Okay, foot fetish. I don't know her name. I know she has a guard who's actually standing inside the background, Al. So I don't know how to do any ranking of foot licker. If I had to rank her, I'd just put her inside an F tier because she's kind of just a bitch. But we're going to rank the dude standing inside the background. The dude with the abs. The savage dude that looks like he's right out of Dark Souls. So Al, the savage, would obviously be an A tier. And obviously foot licker would be an E tier or an F tier. So I'm just going to put them at a very high D tier and split the difference. I know that's not really good math right there, but, it doesn't matter. They'll just go there. Actually, maybe they'll go below, because I think Reinhardt's a little bit better. Wait, no. We're also counting for Al, the Chad, the savage. The dude who somehow is so much of, a powerful being that he can be around footlicker 24/7. I don't know what the dude's thinking. He could have had all these nice people to be around, but he chose this weird lady. But he can do whatever he wants. Alright, now we have Ram. Rom? It's Rom, but everyone pronounces it Ram, like a sheep or a mountain goat. But she's no goat. Well, she is the goat because she's awesome. But she's not as awesome as Ram. So the part of the reason why people like Rem so much is because she had this weird redemption arc where she thought she was trash, and One-sama, being Ram or Rom, was the top tier character, and she was just down there with Lil Mac. She thought she was utter shitballs. But then you had Subaru over here, which was all like, "Oh, Rem, you're so cool because you saved me," and then she started crying, and then everyone who watched ReZero busted out their nut buttons, and they were just smacking that nut button because they were so happy that the character they like to look at is also best girl, and also seems to be the main female interest. And then Emilia came in there, and then Subaru came in there, and all those poor people are now just dissing on both of these characters now, but mostly Emilia. No one can diss on Petelgeuse, though. He's just so beautiful. Yeah, but we have Rom. Where would I put Rom on the list? Now, I think Rem is a better character inside of Season 1 because she's more developed, but that's just because she's like the main love interest that then gets shut down. But Rom has a very interesting situation. So I think she has a very connecting, like a very good bond with her sister, but I think both of them have that. So I think since she's just a cool person to look at, I think technically I'm gonna have to put her above Subaru. Not as much as Petelgeuse, because Petelgeuse is a savage, and he's a very cool character, but Rom can go over there. She's very close to S tier. The next character being Felix or Felix or whatever his name is. Yes, this is a he. He is a he. He has a little thing hanging between his legs, even though he looks very feminine. Now, honestly, if I were to make a waifu tier list, I think this would be a top tier waifu. Now, my opinion on traps is a little different than most people, but I'll keep that to myself. And I think my position of this character is going to hint at if I think traps are gay. Alright, moving on. We have Julius. At least I think that's his name. I haven't really done much research on him, and he was kind of just the dickhole that I don't really understand why Subaru was such an asshat to him, because he was kind of just he had like the smug face, kind of, and a big old forehead, but I don't really think he's a bad dude. And they became slightly friends inside the end. I thought it was a cool end to the series. I know some people were a little disappointed with it because the first couple episodes and the mid episodes and even like the late episodes were pretty sick because he was like dying, learning all this stuff, and then the final episodes were a little dull to some people, but I thought it was fun. I liked it a lot, and I think Julius added to that. He had some cool moments. He's a spirit art user along with like being a sword fighter and a weeb, but I like him a lot. I will give him a solid C tier. Yeah, he's above Footlicker. I think he's a good character. Unfortunately, Reinhardt is not that good. I keep forgetting that Owl's inside the background. I know it's kind of insulting to Owl, but you see, his presence is just so powerful that I can't even accept it. Okay, now we have Roswaal, Bozo the Clown. Now, probably the hardest I've ever laughed at an anime is when Subaru asked Emilia if they hired Bozo the Clown to perform at their mansion, and then Roswaal was just the savage, and instead of, attacking him with some of his crazy magic, he, just kind of laughed it off like a savage. The dude's ripped, man. That one bath scene when he was just taking all his clothes off, the dude's really strong. And also, I'm pretty sure I heard somewhere that he's like a master of all like spiritual arts or something. He's also like a ninja master or something. Yeah, he was able to take out those weird Demogorgon dogs pretty easily, so he's a very strong character. If we're going to set up like a power tier list, we have like Subaru here, and we have Petelgeuse since he's really strong, and he has that drive. He has the heart. He'll never die. He turned into some weird crab creature and started chasing him around, even though he was like 90% dead, or even 100% dead. And then you probably have Roswaal. Well, actually, never mind. I think Roswaal's stronger than Petelgeuse, just because, he's mastered every single fucking art of magic inside the entire world, but, who knows, he's just that much of a savage. But just going off of the character, I wasn't a big fan of him. I kind of found him kind of like a little bit of a pedophile, since, he had Rom just chilling on his lap. Kind of like a weirdo, but he can do what he wants. He's Bozo the Clown. He hired these ladies. He saved them from the witch cult that was murdering their ogre village, or demon village. So he's a cool dude. He has some morals, or maybe he just wanted to hire some two cute waifus to work for him to get more clout on Instagram because he posts pictures with him and his waifus every single day. And, you know, if he wants to do that, he can do that. But he's a cool dude. He's a cool dude. I'll have to put him inside of a, definitely not as good as Puck. Definitely better than Julius, though. So I'll put him at a C tier for kind of cool. Wait, no. And it doesn't matter. Okay. Okay, on to Felt. Now, Felt here is a lolly. There are very few lollies. Well, one's coming up. The true lolly. But this is a ninja lolly. She was like the first, I'm not going to say antagonist, but she was the first obstacle inside of Subaru's journey. You know, trying to help Emilia by catching this thing, and then he got to know Emilia, and she was a cool character, and then Emilia faded out of existence, never to come back, and then Rem came in there like a pile driver, and then everyone loved her. But we got Felt. Now, Reinhardt and Felt, they're very tight, they're close. But I'm not going to put them together because I do not want Felt inside the same tier as this foot monger of hatred and disgustingness. But Felt's a cool character. She has like the presence or something. I don't know. She has like the power. The weird crystal stone reacted to her palm or something, and now she's considered the queen of everything. But she's a cool character. I'll put her at a B tier. Don't know too much about her. She's just a lolly, and she has a spunky personality, and she has knives, and knives are sick. All right, now Wilhelm, Hammy Man. I don't really know what his name is too much. I'm just going to call this guy Captain Ahab, because that's basically what he is. He drove himself to insanity because he wanted to murder this giant fish. Well, I'm pretty sure a whale's a mammal. Whales are definitely mammals, but I don't know if the whale inside of ReZero, or the whales inside of ReZero, are actually mammals. They are probably demogorgons or something. Who knows? It might bleed green blood. But Captain Ahab here, the savage, he wanted to protect his waifu so much. Well, he was kind of a dick to his waifu, but then he loved his waifu. And his waifu was murdered by a giant fish. And then he got really angry and really bitter. Not really bitter, just kind of quiet. And he really wanted to beat up this fish. And he ended up beating the fish because he's a savage. And he was crowned the hero of all time, even though everyone knows that Subaru the Savage did most of the difficult work by attracting it, because he smells like the witch. He smells like Satell's butthole because for some reason she farted on him and he smells horrible now. Everyone always complains on how he smells so bad. Unless, you know, they don't have a good sense of smell. But I'm pretty sure every single character here has like a special trait of smelling, because a lot of them talk about how she stinks since the witch is on him. But anyways, back to Captain Ahab. He's a cool character. Had a good arc of trying to learn his past and all that. I don't really care about it too much since neither of the characters really resonated with me that much, but I like him a lot. He's a good character. I will put him above Emilia. I'm going to have to separate the two. I'm sorry, Simp. I'm sorry. He is in very much sadness right now, but it's fun because we're going to have Wilhelm right there. He's going to make sure that Simp over here doesn't get too close to the pretty lady, because he wants to protect pretty lady from Subaru, the weird guy. Okay, 3 more. One of these I'm a little confused on why it's here, but whatever. Okay, we have Betty, or Beatrice. Now, Beatrice is the hardcorest of lollies that you could possibly imagine. But she's a sick character. She owns this magical library. She's like indebted to the Roswaal family mansion or something, because actually they don't touch on that inside the manga, or the anime. Maybe they touch on it inside the manga. I'm pretty sure the manga is a lot shorter, or at least a lot quicker inside its pacing. But Betty's a sick character. She really likes Puck for some reason, probably some weird thing where like she has to like share her power or else Puck's gonna turn into the weird catalyst bomb. But I'm not sure. I should probably watch the Snow Memories or whatever the ReZero movie featuring Emilia is. Beatrice or Betty is a good character, very good. I like her a lot, and I think she is worthy of going above Petelgeuse unfortunately, he's finally not top of A tier. He's top of A tier, but not high tier. He's not the toppest of top. All right, now we have Partridge. His, well, Subaru's weird land lizard. I don't know what I want to call this thing. It didn't really do much for me. It was kind of just like a horse. I know some people get connected to the horse inside the Western shows, but I don't really care. Man, the animation of bloody Emilia is tripping me out. I really don't like that they put a GIF in here. Consistency, man. You gotta have consistency with your tier lists. But yeah, it's just a horse. It doesn't really do much. It didn't really give any like long-lasting impression. I'm not like crying that it hurt its back trying to protect Subaru after he majestically ran to chuck that thing of firestones. He wanted to evolve all the EVs, but well, they were just gonna get nuked. But yeah, sure, it burnt its back a little bit at the end to protect Subaru. I guess that's a little bit better than Foot Lady, but it's still just a horse or a lizard. And then we're on to I think the only character I don't know the name of, well, besides Foot Lady. But yeah, I don't know much about her. She was kind of just a dick, but she helped Subaru out inside the end. Again, most of these characters were kind of dicks because Subaru was kind of being a dick. He just kind of wanted to get what he wanted. He wanted all these soldiers to go over there and help save Emilia, you know, or else Emilia's going to die from the Petelgeuse cult, and then Puck's going to explode like the firebombs, except it's going to be an ice stone, like times 10 million. The entire Earth is going to get nuked in frost. But yeah, I don't know anything about this character besides she has a bunch of Neko characters and Ricardo. Like if Ricardo was inside of this, he would be an S tier. But I'm not too sure why they don't have Ricardo. They have the horse, but they don't have Ricardo. Ricardo is a top tier character. If you guys don't know who Ricardo is, that's the fox werewolf guy that has the big chest. Very nice, and I liked him when he was on screen. But I don't really have much of a connection to this purple hair lady, so I'll put him with other purple hair guy because I'm pretty sure they are connected in some way. Pretty sure they like work for the same house or something. But before we end this video, let us make some changes. I actually think I'm going to put Betty up here. I think Betty is better than Felix, unfortunately. I'm sorry, Felix. And I think Ram is actually the bottom of S tier. I'm going to have to move her up. I think Puck is better than Crusch Sama, or just Crusch. Yeah. Reinhardt is definitely better than the horse. That's kind of insulting to the horse. And I think Wilhelm is going to have to go down to the bottom of A tier, unfortunately. Actually, wait a minute. I think I'm going to have to switch these dudes out. Yeah, I'm going to have to put him at the highest of B tier because I think Puck deserves to be inside of an A tier. So this is my final ReZero tier list. Luckily, Petelgeuse regained his title of being the A tier, or the top of A tier. But I think some of the characters here are going to get more story later. Unfortunately, we have no F tier characters because I don't really find any of them too trash tier, except Foot Lady. Foot Lady would go down unless Al was standing inside the background, or since Al's standing inside of the background, it's going to be a D tier. So I think that's going to wrap it up for this ReZero tier list. I like all these characters, and I'm really excited for Season 2, since Season 2 is like, it's just around the corner. Hopefully the virus is not going to destroy me again and destroy my hopes and dreams, because it's done that with quite a bit of shows. Specifically, a certain scientific railgun T, which I'm still waiting for the next episode. I've just been kind of sitting here for quite a long time, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to wait as long as it takes because I really want to see what happens next. But I have a feeling ReZero is going to be like that too, but let's try to hold out for the next season. But with that being said, guys, thank you for watching, and keep on looking for my videos.